I've seen a bio that I shared it on the group before, but I'm going to go through it again. So I welcome you all again to Purposeful Designers Conference Day 3. It's been an interesting journey so far, and I've learned a lot. I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot. Okay, I read Oyinda Fakile is a leading communication expert and an agile design thinker. A keen eye and mind for preferring human-centered solutions has put her in an unending love affair with creating amazing brand stories and unearthing ahead of curve engaging and iconic ideas. Over the years, she's inspired award-winning solutions for brands like MTN, Bet King, Airtel, CBN, Jameson, and there are so many companies, so many brands that she has worked with. Right? She currently serves as a creative director at Nitro 121. You can check them on Instagram. Nitro 121. Again, we are so glad to have you here, Ma. We are so happy to have you here, and we can't thank you enough. So right now, I think I'm going to leave the mic for you.
Thank you so much, Maven. I'm so excited to be here, guys. And I don't take this invite for granted. Thank you for inviting me into your space.
Yes, Ma.
To just really share some mental creative juice, right? So today we'll be gisting. I'm not a very, very serious person, right? And that's why I've remained a creative for how many years? For over 20 years, right? I don't like seriousness because when somebody or something is too serious, right? You really can't you really can't bring out your creative magic, right? So please let your head down. If you really need to, sorry, 1 second. I need to turn off something. If you really need to, if you need to stand up, grab a cup of drink or something, please do that, right? But um this is a no seriousness zone, right? Because the creativity zone. And I'm so excited to be talking to you about illuminating your creative identity. Wow, that's such a deep topic, right? And let's dive right in. I prepared a couple of slides, right, just to
Okay.
share with you. So you follow me as I go, right? But I would also be loving, let's engage right in between. So as we move on, okay.
Okay, so I'm
I
going
hope we're
to
all.
turn off my. I'm going to stop my representation now so you can
Oh, okay,
present.
okay. Thank you, Maven. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'll also be learning. No, I'll be relearning. Huh? I
I hope you
really
guys
love
have
to
your
learn.
notes. I hope you have your notes. Can you see? See, I have a lot I've written down. Yeah. Get your notes, please, and
Nice.
jot things down.
So please, if anybody is raising up their hands or they have any questions, maybe please you be my eyes because I really can't see the
Okay,
chat room.
we actually do
Yes.
leave that for maybe after your presentation.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So illuminating your creativity, journey to self-discovery. So first, I'll run you through, things we'll be talking about today. I'll just touch a little on my personal journey as a creative in Nigeria because there needs to be emphasis on the location, right? With the gen issues, with the light issues, with the price issues for, maybe subscribing for different platforms that would aid your creativity, the dollar rate slapping you goes right and center, right? So I'll share my personal journey with you. I'd also share the fact that, look, there's an understanding of creativity that is very required, right? And then different ways you can explore to really find your true self, in case your true self has been buried under a lot of issues, like I mentioned earlier. And also, how do you overcome certain challenges that, we creatives are saddled with, and then, of course, how to cultivate creativity. So, without further ado, I'll dive right in a little bit of my personal journey. Someone who's always on the move, you'd always find me building stuff, right? So, before finding myself here at Nitro, right, my journey has pretty much been exploratory, right? Starting as a writer, right, at with Moabudu, where I used to write episodes and co. But I also had a very huge design mind. So I found that that job became a little bit monotonous for me at that time, and then I just delved into advertising. I worked with Macan Worldwide. I worked with Center Spread. I worked with TBWA, where I was a creative director, and then now at Nitro 121. And the journey is still very long, right? Because yes, there are always things to do, things to build, and epic ads and designs to make, right? And I know that I'm talking to maybe a core of designers, but I'm also a very agile design thinker. So trust me, a lot of things that we'll be sharing today would really help. So just pretty much what I had spoken about earlier, and I think Maven also touched it. Most of the brands I've been privileged to work on are Zenith Bank, Global Alliance for Clean Cooking, right? That's a global brand that does they sort of push clean cooking, globally. I've done stuff for McVitie's, I've done stuff for Bajaj. I was on the MTN brand for some 5 years. I've done stuff for Bet King. I've done stuff for Aladano. I've done stuff for BAT, British American Tobacco, Airtel, British Council, Leap Africa, Spotify, and so many more. I do stuff for multi-choice also right now where I'm at. So like I said, I'm an ex-creative director at TBWA, currently creative director at Nitro 121, business lead at ProTouch, and of course building at Elo Creative, right? So let's move on, right, to yes, lush head too. So let's move on to the meat of the matter, right? Creativity is such a broad word, right? It's such a large and huge landscape. So is there a one way to sort of understanding creativity? I would say no, right? There's no one way. There's no one rule. There's no one way it should be done. And you see, that's why creativity is so interesting, right? Because one thing can look like amazing to one person, and then another person sees it and they think it's not working, right? But the key critical thing that every creative needs to do before they express is to know themselves first. You need to find yourself first, right? And self-discovery is not something you do and you leave. You need to keep rediscovering yourself, right? Self-discovery is sort of the foundation, because when you do that and you're doing that consistently, it gives room for authentic expression to guide you to really uncover passions. A lot of us, there are passions that we have that we don't even know. But because of the clients that we find ourselves, we don't even know. Like I make a joke with my husband. I say, love, if I were abroad, I'm probably going to be a detective, right? Proper detective, because the way I sort of piece things together. And at the end of the day, he's like, you figured this thing out before it played out, right? So there are different passions that we have, different perspectives that we need to uncover, that we know that, look, call yourself, for example, let me use an editor, for example, right? Editor has different layers to her, like an onion. You need to keep unraveling those layers. You need to keep finding those layers, right? Because that's the only way your work can be genuinely rich, right? Have you heard of the saying of there's really, you see, you can teach people design, but there's an aspect you can't teach, and that's self-awareness. Because your design carries your DNA. Your design carries your, and I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't design to the target audience. Yes, you design to the target target audience, but there is a style that you bring that is unique to you. There is a blend that you bring that is unique to you. Give four people the same ingredients and ask them to cook jollof rice, for example. It's going to taste differently. The same ingredients, same measurements. Everything. Life is design, right? Give them the same thing, it's going to be different. Why? Because a Maven can had maybe his mom watching his mom or watching his girlfriend or whoever, cook. He sees that, oh, there's a way they saute the onions. You first let the onions fry, and the onions must be black before you pour your tomato puree, right? Maven has seen that based off his experience, based off his history, right? Based off his interrelations, right, with people. And then maybe an Ololade has a special way that maybe she grew up with her great grandmother. There is a special design. All this discovery of self, is what it would add juice and color to your design. So you cannot run away from yourself. You need to first find yourself. You're looking to up your design game. You need to sink further into yourself to unravel yourself, to be able to push that forward and fuel your creativity. So when you embrace this unique identity, right, you can now find different ways to infuse it. You find a way to infuse your personal narratives. You find a way to, innovative approaches that you can bring into different situations, right? So maybe there's a way you want to do the hand. Maybe, for example, now if this person probably had never had an ice cream, right? There won't be the thought of saying, okay, look, how do I just bang with this design? Okay, what if this cloud, what if I put an ice cream cone and then, do this, do that, do that? But someone that's never had an ice cream will never be able to achieve this design, right? And I'll use a personal case study of a TVC script that I wrote for MTN. It was a Raven and it was groundbreaking at that time, some 5 years ago. MTN Blind Bride. The experience that birthed that TVC, right, was from
Eh?
personal experience. I sunk into
Okay.
myself, working with the
Charlie,
target
that's it.
audience and the brief that I had. So they
Eh?
said, okay, look, team, we want to create a TVC ad, right? That would resonate with Nigerians to make them know that MTN has clear calls. Clear cut calls was the word. Clear cut calls. And I said, so we kept we were interrogating the brief, thinking, how do we crack this? I remember my art director and I were saying, how do we crack this thing? You know? And all of a sudden, I got sunk into an experience I had with my mother at Eco Market. At this time of the year now, when I was younger, my mother and my siblings, she will pack all of us, Lagos Market, yeah. Something we can buy next door. No, we must go to Lagos. And we go there years before the telephone, millions of people in the market. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm sure all of us know. Eco is millions of people, a lot of people there. And then she goes, Oyinda, in Yoruba, dúró síbí báyìí, mò ń bọ̀. Mo fẹ́ sáré dé shop yẹn, I'll translate. Oyinda, just wait here, I'll be right back. I quickly want to get to that stall and I'll come back. Wait here for me. I said, no problem. And then she goes, maybe she went for like 5 minutes, but it looked like she had been gone for like 5 hours. A child, I think I was 7 or 8. And I thought, hey, my mother has left me in this market. So I left where she told me to stay and I was looking for her. And for some good another 10 minutes, I could not find her. I was crying. I was lost. She had gotten back to the store to be looking for me. I was not there. So I was in a frenzy. And in that state of distraught that I felt, right, I was imagining that what if there was something that can make me, as I just call my mother's name now, in the middle of this busy market, she should just be able to hear me clearly. And that was what I needed. That experience of myself, right, sinking into myself, brought out a unique perspective. Okay, why don't we do an ad that has to do with someone at a very busy wedding, right? She's trying to talk to somebody. But because there's a lot of people, right, and it's too busy, how she takes her phone, MTN enabled phone, and she calls the person and she speaks and they hear themselves properly, like the crowd is not there. And then we now further funneled the idea down to say, okay, what if we want to make this idea even more emotional? Because the brief says it needs to be emotional. What if we made it a wedding? Oh, everybody was like, oh, more, not just a wedding. The wedding has to be with a bride that is blind. And when those Igbo weddings where the bride is looking for her husband to give him the palm wine, and that was the unique cultural insight, which is another delving into self, because If I didn't have an Igbo person on my team, I couldn't probably have been able to crack that. So thank God that I had a self-aware Igbo person on the team to be able to bring that little color into it. Say, oh, beautiful, and we pieced that together, and we ended up with this very interesting ad, right? Please let me know if you have audio.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Madam, go and bring us your husband. Okay, hello baby.
We're in this together, okay? Can you hear me? Keep coming forward.
Wait, stop.
You okay, lean to your right. Keep walking down. Keep walking to the left. Yes.
You're almost here.
Keep going.
You are here. Wow, you did it.
I'm just so glad I didn't have to use my cane to do this.
And I am so glad no other man got you before me. Let me be your eyes.
We will never stop working to give you a network you can rely on so you can enjoy life's special moments. MTN, everywhere you go.
So that's an ad that was born out of self-discovery, self-awareness, and an exchange of self-awareness across a team, right? It wouldn't have been able to give us, we wouldn't have been able to get this design if we didn't move into ourselves, right? So now let's move to exploration techniques, right? See, if you've ever found yourself, you found yourself, right? Or maybe you've not found yourself before, you're looking to find yourself. There are different ways you can find yourself, right? Or to continue finding yourself, right? Mindfulness practices is one, right? Anchoring in the present. You need to be mindful. You need to be constant in your picking of cues, right? So what's happening in the industry? Okay, AI industry, ChatGPT, Sam. What can I do with that? What little touch can I bring into that? What kind of design can I birth from that, right? If you are that aware, it will foster emotions, it would unlock hidden passions, and even also make you uncover creative pathways, right? I'll use a case of Kit Kat, right? Which is very, very, there are so many interesting designs, which was uncovered by an insight that I believe was from self-awareness, right? The insight is you are not you when you're hungry. Are you when you're hungry? I'm sure you're not. I'm sure that insight works all over the world, right? It's from self-awareness that insight came from. You're not you when you're hungry. And let's see how that self-awareness that birthed that insight has further birthed, very unique expressions we add. Right? So you see this. You're not you when you're hungry. I'm sure that people that are used to playing football, this I don't just get myself just be like, hey, people they love me, just like saying I just run backward because I'm not even fast. And the art director must have taken this to say, okay, look, why don't I literally bring that alive and just a punchy copy at the bottom? But everybody can realize this kind of artwork, this kind of insight is stumbled upon when you are self-aware, right? This is another one, right? You're not you when you're hungry. Another person's expression. Okay, what if it's true? You when you are really hungry, you think you are smiling, but deep down your face is hard. People will look at you. Are you okay? But I'm trying to smile. Can they see my face that I'm hungry? It's from self-awareness, right? It's from understanding the different habits, that people have, or even you yourself have when you're hungry at this person. Now let's even dive further in. You're not you when you're hungry. This person even played with fruits, right? To say, oh, when you're hungry, even when you need something really heavy or something really luscious, a banana looks like a gun, an apple looks like a dynamite, and this looks like a dagger. Another translation can be, oh, even the fruits are not themselves when they're hungry, right? That's another translation, another twist to it. So moving on to some works I did with my art director, TBWA concepts. If I had not watched, or we had both not watched Avengers, for example, we would have been able to do this. How do we blend? We thought, okay, on this Workers' Day, there's always work that comes in the system. So what would we rather be doing on Workers' Day? I would rather be watching Avengers. So instead of opening up my design suit, right, I want to be watching Avengers. So how do we blend both narratives, right? From our self-awareness, this was birthed. And we had other variations. Instead of opening my Word document, I would rather, open Waka Now page to sort of get a trip to travel somewhere, right? Oh, rather than opening my PowerPoint document, PlayStation is the game right now. That's what we need, right? And self-awareness is things that birth this, because it makes you become a resource of different thought processes, right? And more exploration techniques. There's also introspection and self-reflection. If you introspect, you self-reflect, you'll be able to uncover different layers. You keep diving in, right? And then you should also know that, look, there's a bigger and wider world out there. I love to experience brainstorming with people. I love, like, moments like this. I love it so much. I'm meeting different minds, and each mind I see is like, wow, this is a wealth of a lot of great things. Who knows what the world can see, from just the collaboration happening today, for example. So you need to seek out inspiration from various sources, draw from people's experience. You don't need to experience it, for example. I'm here, you have Oyinda's experience at Chepco, you have Maven's experience, you have Lolade's experience, you have Benito's experience, right? You have experiences that you can delve and borrow from. So throw yourself into cultures, art disciplines, right? And you'll see how this will catalyze innovation in you. I'll give an example of the Shine Shine Bobo, which was an art that really reigned, I think, in the 1980s. It was really a big bang ad, way before IG, way before things were going viral, right? And they were trying to crack this brief. And I remember the story that I was told, because the guys that used to work at ESO and you gave the gist. And they said, look, how they got this Shine Shine Bobo line, which was the big bang for that ad, was they had been trying to crack this thing, art director, copywriter, all of them. But they said, you know what, we're not cracking this thing. Hey, why don't we go to the bar and go and experience this drink at the bar, right? I'm not promoting drinking, but you get the message, right? And then they went there and they sat with the masses, the grassroots, the people, not the tush people, the grassroots. And then they noticed that what they were calling Guinness indeed was what? Shine, shine, bobo, the language of the people. So when they put it on the ad, it made that design complete. So you may be missing out a lot if you stay in your cocoon and you think, oh, you're the beginning and end of all the knowledge. So part of exploration is also seeking out inspiration from various sources, right? And then I'll move on to this beautiful one done globally. Please watch and see what
In life, you cannot always choose what you do, but you can always choose who you are.
Ain't nothing wrong with this chemistry. Ain't nothing wrong with this place for me. And time tells the test of pedigree. Experience is another one meant for me.
We are the sappers, the Society of Elegant Persons of the Congo.
Indelible is what I need to spread the word. Tell me now and show me how to understand what makes us understand. Tell me now and walk the line.
You see, my friends, with every brace and every cufflink, we say, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
This ad was done based off the insight that the Congolese, right, the Congo Brazzaville people, even in the depth of their deep poverty and hard work, right, when they show up to party, they don't show up like what they've been through, right? And you can see that it is beautiful design-wise in terms of the finishing, right? Imagine how that insight was uncovered. It wasn't uncovered by sitting in the house, right? It was uncovered by listening to society, listening to the people that this ad was meant to, feed. So now let's move on to overcoming challenges, because I know that the challenges come every time, there's a lot of pressure everywhere. pressure, especially IG, LinkedIn. You see people's work and the chance to go, oh, now I'm not even going to put anything out. Have you seen that guy's design? Oh, have you seen this guy's portfolio? Have you seen? There is a huge pressure, right? So how do you deal with this self-doubt and comparison? First, you need to embrace the creative process. You need to focus on the joy of creation rather than the end result. So don't start creativity or any creative endeavor because you want to beat the one you saw. Do you understand? It makes the motive. You see, creativity is like a spirit, right? It gets upset when you're trying to prove a point. In fact, when you're trying to prove a point, it will fall flat on its face. You need to let it flow. You know, the way they say when you are drowning, you should not struggle. You should just relax. That's creativity. You need to let it flow. Let the creativity just carry you to where it's going, right? Focus on that joy of creativity rather than the end result. Let yourself experiment, learn, grow, make mistakes. I didn't put it here, but you need to be okay with making mistakes because that's the only way you can stumble on magic, right? That's one. Another thing, you need to also make sure that your environment supports your creativity, right? For example, in my brainstorming sessions at work, right, we make sure that most times, especially when it's just a creative, it needs to be the bright energy in the room. It's not a time to be saying, oh, an idea doesn't work. We don't throw any idea out in brainstorming sessions where there's creatives, right? We can be doing that at the review section when all the stakeholders are there, but you need to surround yourself with a supportive community, right? The people that encourage you to take risks, people that give feedback, but not just feedback, constructive feedback, and the people that can celebrate individual creative journeys. So, man, I like what you did there, Tayo, man, wow. Okay, but is there a way we can really make sure that this really ties home? This design, okay, is working, but is there a way we can, so you need to make sure that you curate your environment. Don't just open yourself to anything. Creativity is like pristine water, right? You don't want to stain it. When they say you don't want anything to stain your white, you need to guard your creativity by cultivating a supportive environment. Now, moving on to also how you can really, provoke yourself. You need to make sure that you are reframing perspective. For example, you can look at it, okay, this is the societal norm, and then this is the expectation, right? You need to look for how do I reframe it, right? So reframe it as a reference point. Don't let it limit you. So it is a reference point. So for example, I am designing an ad for the northern region, right? The reference point is that I must not make the women look too sensual. Everybody knows that. Beautiful, but don't let that now limit you from maybe making them. For example, there's this beautiful design that I loved by when Saudi Arabian women were finally made to drive, right? It was done with the the mirror, right? The rear view mirror in the car, and you could just see their hijab and just their face, and then a neat copy at the bottom. If you've not seen that ad, I could also send it to Maven so you can share with the team, right? But beautiful design. Yes, the woman is covered, but also a very daring and minimalistic design, right? Another way is to make sure you empower your individual voice. You need to advocate for the importance of authentic self-expression. So if you belong on a team or you for yourself, you need to make sure that your self-expression is given airplay, right? What is that unique viewpoint you are bringing, right? External pressures will come, but there's a unique viewpoint. You can say, oh, there's one thing that we do in our tribe, somewhere in Ijebu or somewhere in Port Harcourt, right? I think that this thing can really help with this design, right? You need to be bold enough and audacious enough to give that voice volume, right? Because maybe that's what would really make it simply magical. So now moving on to how you cultivate creativity, right? Cultivating creativity it sounds like, oh, I mean, me, I was just born creative. It's okay. Some people is from the heavens that came. But you see, even when things come from the heavens, right, there are ways to cultivate it. There are ways to prime it. So it stays very alive. Your creativity needs to be alive. So it's not dull, it's not dead, right? You need to be curious. You need to be curious. Chook your nose, interest, ask questions. You need to look for inspiration, right? from different sources, right? You need to make sure that you are curious, because that's the only way you can follow your imagination. You really cannot imagine what you have not seen, or something that has not been alluded to from what you've seen, right? It's from your eyes. That's the gate, your eye gate. You need to make sure that you are feeding it. So watch international best practices. Look at designs from different regions, right? Even going to, okay, maybe go to an address store, just be there. You are just watching. You don't know what patterns you are picking and what flow you are picking, right? And then you need to be playful. When I started this session, I said, I don't like seriousness. So I'm serious when I need to be, right? But when it comes to creativity, no, I like to play. I like to play. I like to experiment. I like to bring voices that look like the underdog into the room so that they can air themselves. And who knows, we can stumble on something really amazing, right? Because that's the only way innovative breakthroughs can happen, right? And then you need to make that your environment is stimulating. When you have a change, when you have a make sure that your environment looks, it's conducive. For example, I love to work in dim environments. If you come into my workstation, the light is usually off and then there's just a lamp, right? I like it dim. I like music playing on the side and my messages playing on the side. What is it that triggers your imagination? I love music a lot too, right? So make sure that you are curating your mind to inspire your creativity, right? And then I'm not team, oh, I've been there, done that. You will never find me in 3 months having not studied a course. And trust me, it goes wide. For example, finish the course in business analysis, right? It goes wide. It's not just, oh, creativity as a something. No, it goes wide. You need to make sure that your learning is tipped, because that's the only way you can now. Because let's also know that creativity is required across everything. There's no sphere of life that creativity is required, right? So make sure that you broaden perspective by learning, by exploring, right? And to my most exciting point, right? I like to say collaborate or die, right? If you want to be the owner, then you're not ready. You're not ready. It's okay, you can be the owner, but that thing will not flow. It will not grow bigger than you. It's just going to be there. You need to be ready to collaborate. You need to look for people you can exchange ideas with. You need to look for how people can plug into what you do, right? Or how you can plug into what people do. There is power in collective innovation. And an example I like to use, because I'm a woman of faith also, right, is even God, right? When he was making the world, he said, come. He said, let us. He didn't say, oh, no, I'm going to make man in my image. No, no. He said, let us. Meaning there was God the Father, him, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So you, oh almighty creative, who are you that you don't want to collaborate, that you don't want to exchange? If a whole God could, right? So learn to collaborate. Look for people of like minds, like passions, and just join. Tether yourself. Look for how to plug into what they're doing. And you'll see that at the end of the day, your creativity is more colorful for it, right? So thank you so much, everyone. I'm open to questions now. Ask away. Ask away.
Hey, Jesus. Jesus. I'm still typing. Jesus, that's a lot. That's a lot. I can't even type everything I have in my notes now. Oh go. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little recap. Thank you so much, ma, for that session. That was yeah. That was fire. Okay, I'm going to share my screen
Thank you
now.
for the
And sorry, excuse me. That's just concise and very, very good. Let me share my screen. One second, please. you have questions, please start jotting them down. Okay. Please 1 second. Okay, thank you again. Thank you so much, Ma, for that amazing session. I'm actually looking for something. I wanted to show you guys something. So I wanted to show something hilarious. Yeah. Remember when she said, you are not you when you are hungry? I remember during Orange when I heard something like that in class. Like, I'm a very unserious person. Yeah, I just took my my phone then and then I went to Canva. Yeah, and I disturb people a lot. Yeah, so I took some pictures and it was like let me I took some pictures in class then and I turned it into meme and I sent it to the main group. So everybody's like, Maven, why now? So they're always afraid of me anytime I'm with my phone. So I did this. Not just this one, but I think about 2 or 3 of them. So we were in class and I saw them eating, I took it. And when I heard that word, you are not you when you are hungry. So I started to create a meme and send it. They were like, this guy is something else. Okay, let me run through everything she said. Self-awareness, you have to self-aware. You have to embrace your unique identity. Seek inspiration from various sources. Let creativity flow and don't focus on the end result yet. Yeah, because you are still growing. Yeah, you can't, it's not skyrocket like I used to say. You can't just jump at it. You have to stay on it. Right? So she mentioned you need to create a stimulating environment. Yeah. Someone like me also. That is why I always have my headset. Yeah, if you have seen me, you see me with headset most of the time. I have my headset with me. If I'm not in my headset, I have a Bluetooth player that plays in the background, and I love my place to be always neat. My workspace is always neat. If my table is dirty, I won't be able to work. If it is started, I won't be able to do anything. So reframe your perspective. Tola Labi mentioned something yesterday. There are some things that you have in your system already. There are some things we have a lot of beliefs, right? There are some things that you have digested that you need to shit out. You need to just throw them away and then download something new. Yeah, that's how perspective works. I mentioned something yesterday. I said we have two people. Some people see things on a surface level, that is 2D, and then we have others that can see in 5D, right? They see the form, they see the side, they see the bottom, they see everything. Yeah, you need to learn from what you see from others, and it's going to help. So she said we have to be curious to fuel our imagination. Yeah, you can find out from anywhere. I ask questions a lot, except you are not close. I don't care. I don't mind. I'll just enter your DM. I can. And she said you should continue to learn. I have a lot here that I don't have. I can't even cover everything now. So I'm going to stop here. So if you guys have questions, ask. Okay. Kindly raise your hand if you have questions. Okay, I'm checking the hands. We have we have Abdullah. Abdullah, you have a question. Can you ask your question now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And thank you so very much for that wonderful session. I got in a bit late, but what I actually heard was mind blowing. I wish I was here earlier. So you mentioned a whole lot, like a whole lot of points. But one thing that I actually wanted to ask about, you mentioned something like collaboration, like not winning alone. You can have like minds. In this, as in the time we are today, there are so many people that actually want to collaborate, but they want to do with people that are a kind of way ahead of them. You understand? For example, someone who is a newbie in design would want to collaborate, but you want to do it with someone who has 12 years of experience, stuff like that. You understand? So, and that's actually a very difficult thing to do, most because maybe I may say the ones with the greater experience would not want to do as a kind of something denigrating. I don't know how they say it. So please, can you just throw light on like collaborating with fellows, like for people around your cycle, or do you look for people that are around your own kind of class? You understand, and collaborate with them, or you just go and start the big daddies in your industry, and maybe say you want to collaborate and stuff like that. So that's my question.
Thank you so much, Abdullah. That's such a brilliant question and also a very critical one, right? I'll tell you my rule of the thumb when collaborating. Collaboration should be stabbed, as much as you should do it often, you should also be very, very careful, right? So it doesn't mean that you jump at any collaboration offer, number one. Number two, it also doesn't mean you should always, oh, because I need to collaborate so that this thing will grow, I should just jump at anybody. No, right? You need to study, right? I say that, look, you collaborate with someone like you are getting married to that person, right? In collaboration, you need to look at the unique skills and the unique character sets that you would want in a spouse, for example, right? With this person, when the going is rough, will this person stay, right? Before we start to make money, will this person be there, right? It doesn't mean it needs to be your age range, so it's not like you are literally marrying the person, and it can be male to male, but you dissect it like you're dissecting a spouse that you want to spend forever with. So look out for values, look out for principles, be sure that they align. Also look at your work style. So if you're a very agile, I'm an agile person now, for example. So if I would ever meet you to collaborate with me on something, it's because I've noticed that you're agile. And I've noticed that you are a doer, because I'm someone that I don't believe that something is not doable. So it will be unfair if I meet someone who likes to take their sweet time in terms of, I'm not saying maybe not being careful, right? But in terms of, this thing, we can't do it though. Someone that is always saying all the issues of how you can't do it. You already know that that collaboration is dead on arrival. So you need to make sure that you are aligned when it comes to value sets, when it comes to purpose, when it comes to vision, right? You need to be sure that yes, this thing is also looking like something that this person wants to achieve, right? And then you also mentioned stuff about the age, the years of experience and all that, right? That's also very, very prevalent. You find that, like you said, most people want to collaborate with people that have huge number of years under their belt. But I think that the most unique collaborations, or the ones that are called divine collaborations for you, are the people that see the value that you bring to the table, not the years of experience, right? I'm someone who I grew through the ranks I was group head copywriter at TBWA before I became creative director. But the only way I could become creative director was because I had an ECD who took a chance on me. Do you understand? He didn't think I needed to suffer before. Oh, Oyinda needs to. He could see my skill set. He could see the fact that, okay, look, this person has values. She's always delivering. Okay, there's nothing, just she doesn't come to me with issues. You know, when you have an oga and he pretty much will go on holiday and he will just leave me because he's sure that the office will not burn, either is on duty. Do you understand?
Just the way
So
you
I
like
think
it.
that you need, yes, maybe maybe not to cast me, right? Do you get? You need to work with people that you know can deliver, right? So if you find someone like that, Abdullah, that probably thinks that, look, I don't want to work with Abdullah because he doesn't have years of experience. They are not your people. They are not your people, oh. Eh? Do you understand? They are not your people. You just move because the right set of people, it will just fit like a glove. It won't, you won't need to force it. I've also had people who I'm trying to really get into their mix and say, okay, how can I plug in? But once I know that the conversations are forced or it's too hard, I just say, it's not flowing. I just pull back. Do you get? So also creativity means you can also pick vibes, right? You pick the vibes. And this is not oversensitivity. You will know when you are being oversensitive, but you just pick the vibes to know, okay, is this person, are we yin and yang game? If we're not yin and yang game, it's not working, then you move. Like I said, it's like a love affair. Maybe it's man to man, woman to, it's like a love affair. It just needs to click. It needs to click, right? Yeah. Okay, thanks, Abdullah. See your response. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Yeah. So I don't want to cast myself and I don't want to cast Oyinda because we've not known each other for a year. Yeah, it's not been long that we met, but she actually loves me and I know that. And then we've been. Let me let me just keep it that way. Okay. Let me add to what she said. I've also worked with people. I mentioned Brian yesterday. Brian was on this call yesterday. I don't know if he's here now. Myself and Brian, we've worked on so many projects, like different projects before. He's a motion designer. Yeah. I don't look at our age, right? I invite not just him. I invite people over to my place. We sit down. Sometimes they even sleep. We feed. We stay together. We play like family. Yeah. It is not because of the experience, but because they are good, because they are valuable. Yeah. So that's how collaboration works. So if you want to get close to me now, and I see that you are not you are not up to par, and you are not also ready to give in to the task, I won't move close. That's how it is. All right. So do we have another hand raised? Ololade Dunsoye. You have the mic, please.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Maybe this one that you are loving Oyinda Molana. Wow, I'm jealous. So,
Ah, sorry. Sorry, I have
so
to.
no, it's okay. I'd like to share my take home as well. So, thank you, Oyinda Mola, for the session. It was very inspiring and very educative. My take home from all you said was we can use events from our past, even present, and even what we want to achieve in our future to discover ourselves and as content as well. And exploring helps a great deal, as well as the fact that exploring the wider world, exploring people from different religions, from people who have different mindsets, people from different age groups, people from different tradition can actually help as well. So as a creative, do not put yourself in a box because being in a box does not help in any way. I also hear people say creatives are mad people. You cannot be a creative and be a normal human being. You have friends from different sects. You have friends who are mad in the real sense of the word mad. I can't hear you. That your mic is off. And we have friends from different sects and all that. We have friends who are mad. People who are actually, you can actually call them, if they near Yaba left like this, they will admit them. That kind of.
True, true.
But
true.
from the little experience I have in advertising, I've also been opportune to work with different people, and I want to know your take on, you meet people who are different from you, who have different beliefs, who have different lifestyles, but there's always that caveat. There's always that but. Like, but they carry such creative genius
Oh,
spice in them,
yeah.
and you need to find a balance. You need to, so you don't find yourself drowning, you don't find yourself leaning into their lifestyle. So how do
Mm.
you find that balance?
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
love your question. It's so layered. Like, thank you so much for that question. So, okay, I'll approach it from two angles, right? So, as regards, the different types of people that you meet in the creative space, because, for example, I mean, tongue speaking Christian, for example, right? And in the creative world, there's a lot of crazy people. I worked with art directors that will say, mama, I dey come. I just want smoke one. I dey come. I will not tell you not to go and smoke. Mm-mm, right? I wouldn't. Do what you want to do. I know how I get my own inspiration, right? But I look for how to not. I'm a no judgment zone for them. So you find out that most times, even the most crazy art directors, you would see people say, I don't want to work with Collide, though. I don't want to work with Collide, but Collide wants to work with me. And me, I don't mind working with Collide because inside that Collide's head, it may look like he's mad or he doesn't know what he's doing. But the in order is inside. By the time we finish the work, they are like, it's only Oyinda that could have worked with this guy, right? So it's emotional intelligence. As a creative, right? Your knowledge is high, your IQ is high, but is your EQ also high? You need to know how to deal with people as an open canvas. When you meet people, you need to be a blank white sheet for them. You're not casting aspersions. You're not belittling their point of view. You're not telling them, oh, maybe what they are thinking. No, it's not true. Were you there in their life? Yes, they said that yes, the downfall in their area is red. Are you in their area? You need to leave them. It's their area. You understand? So you need to just have a blank white sheet. That's one. Then two, also as regards maybe not letting them pull you to their lifestyle, right? I would say that, in fact, I joined advertising. I had just gotten married. My husband, sharpshooter from university, the guy already closed marketing, right? So I joined advertising, and I was recently married. And I remember even up until an event I went for some days back, we say, your husband is a strong thing. Oh, would I really love to marry you this way in that, because I brandish my values. I wear it boldly. And I don't wear it in a way. There's a way you wear your values and it's looking like, let them not think I'm a Jew man or a Jew girl. No. So when I joined advertising, the rule there then was, because you are brainstorming, you must sleep overnight in agency. Me, I already told them, I said, me, I cannot sleep in anywhere other than my husband's house. I said, I can't do that. And I said it from the beginning. I didn't apply for any of the advertising roles I got. Thank God for being so good that agencies kept poaching me. So when the HR guys are asking me, what's your weakness and what's your strength? I said my strength is I'm a team player, but maybe what I'll call a weakness, because some people might consider it as a weakness, is I put my family first in everything. So tell me that your client is dying today. If my family needs me, I would not be their client. I am sorry. My family comes first. And over the years, I've gone through colleagues that have had broken marriages. And guys, ladies, I'm saying this, if you're married, good, just to fortify your belief system. And if you're not, just to help you know how to frame your life, right? Because I don't want to be a successful creative with a failed marriage. No, right? I've been married, it's going to be 11 years this year. Beautiful 2 kids and a very vibrant romance. My husband is crazy about me. I'm crazy about him. And I've also been able to hit some high notes in
Yeah,
the
we
industry.
see
Is
it,
that
we
not a
see it, we see it, we
beautiful,
see it.
right? Is that not a beautiful balance? Do you understand? So you need to shout, you need to say what you want to take. You know, some of us want the job. Oh, can you work midnight? Yes, I can work midnight and weekends and holidays. No, say it from the beginning. What you cannot do, you need to say it. You need to say it, because if you don't say it, oh, they will give you trash, right? And now, because after, even when you say it, there will even be times when once it's 5, I'm carrying my bag and I'm going, because when I'm on the work, I do my job and I'm speedy at my job and I am quality at my job. My finishing is quality. So if you will not really have
Wow, wow, wow.
stay back for. You understand? So by the time it's 5 and I'm saying I'm going, you say, "Ah, it's true. She has finished her work. Oh, let her be going." And if there's anything you think I need to do, you let me do it. So I could get certain graces, right? So I think I've touched your point, Bolade, as regards not being subsumed by the values there, right? There are some other things I know. I know that, oh, if there's a party, I hardly go for any party, right? But even if I go, I make sure I leave at a neat time, right? So that I don't get carried away, right? So it's just is what you want. And if the party is good for you, why not? I'm not saying that no, you need to not party or you need to party. No, it's not owing that template, but make sure that you brandish your values and you are strict with your values. You need to be strict with your values. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank
More.
you so much.
More.
Oh, Jesus. That was amazing. I'm trying to change my tone because
Mr. Maven, go and marry.
I don't know. Who is that? All right. Is there anyone who has question? Do you have question? Please, people should ask question. No, ask questions now.
Please, this session should flow with questions. So we don't want
See,
this
the truth
session
is
to end. Please.
there are some questions you can't ask. There are some questions you can't ask because the
Now,
presentation was so sweet
if
and
this woman
straight.
is gone, you may not hear
Say
her again.
ask,
No, I
ask,
beg, ask
ask,
for us.
ask. The way you understood it, ask. Everything she mentioned, ask. You still have time. She's not in a hurry. What advice do you have for students? Balancing aspects. In what way can you?
Okay. Yes. How do you mean balance in terms of balancing what and what? Creativity and
Yes, I'm taking with my laptop.
creativity and school
School
activities.
activity.
Oh, hmm. Okay, so this was a very huge struggle. I'd say that no, it's fine. It's fine. Thanks for engaging and for asking. I think it's also a very, very beautiful question because I remember that you just need to you need to pay the price. Eh? You need to pay the price. I'll tell you a little gist about when I was in university. I studied at Lagos State University. Crazy university. I did have carryover, but I spent 8 years in that university. Right. But I remember that I was always hungry for more as I was doing my university. In the middle of the night, as I finished my work, I will still do my creative stuff. You need to just stretch, you need to pay the price, you need to burn the candle now so that in future you would have the light shining bright, right? You need to hustle. I remember I was already a UX writer as at when I was in university, and I'm talking 2008, right? I was already UX writing. That was when websites started to come. So, can you I can write? So I will still do the website writing, and I must not still fail at school, right? So you need to you need to stretch. It's your stretching period, right? Don't worry, you will not break. You just need to balance it in terms of, okay, maybe your days are for school and your midnight, you can tell yourself 12 to maybe 10 to 12 is me projects. Is Tolu Alashe time. 12 to 10 to 12 is Tolu. But you need to invest in your future. You need to invest in yourself. Build your portfolio. Throw your hands into things, right? And you'd see how it pans out in the future. Because you never can tell when you need it. I hope I've been able to answer your question too.
You make your alarm your friend.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay. Ololade, still want to ask question?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I remember when I was working on a certain ad with a senior creative director and two other people in my team. And we had to present it to like a top boss.
Okay.
And when we were presenting, we presented everything, and all of a sudden, my boss just claimed the idea. God, it felt like it felt like it felt like I was in a bad dream because I felt so proud of myself. I was an intern, so I felt, oh yes, I really nailed this. You understand? I was going to get the pat on the back. You get like I was going to, because you know when you're an intern, you want to use your boss and all
Yes.
that. And did it, and my stole it.
Wow.
It carpet right under my feet, and that did something dying because when you're new to creating and being in advertising, you see your bosses as mini gods. I don't know if you get like they spew ideas and you're like, wow, now person get brain like this, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. How do you deal with stuff like that? Because at the end of the day, I wasn't sure if I could put that particular job in my portfolio, you understand, because someone else already took credit for it.
Yes. Oh, that's such an interesting question, and it's one I'm glad that we are touching it because all of us will be creative leaders. Some of us already are, right, in a shape, form, or way, right? And this is a reminder. You need to remember this session as a reason why you need to be a certain type of boss, right? You need to be a certain type of director, right? Because a lot of people don't understand what the name creative director means, right? Director means you are directing, right? And you do not necessarily need to be the one that wrote the scripts. You don't necessarily need to be the one that did the design, but you can direct, right? And you need to stay in that place as a creative director. I've had this kind of experience, especially even with this ad that I showed today. I had a creative director then that claimed the ad, but thankfully, because it was on a wider team, everybody was the one shouting on the rooftop, this is Oyinda's script, this is our idea, this is that, yes, you're a creative director, doesn't mean you own it and all that, right? But what I didn't let it do to me, as a creative was number one, I didn't let it stop me from pegging my name to my work, right? Because of course I have a lot of proof, and even though it was creative director, it didn't mean that he wrote it. But I also made sure that I gave him the credit that is due to him. You need to understand that in the world of creativity, there's a lot of ego that comes to the table. And part of what I touched on, emotional intelligence, when you're working on a team and you have bosses that you answer to, the EQ you need to also apply is knowing how to give them their roses, so that puts them in a particular space that they need to be at, right? When I joined TBWA, I had an upline called Ugo Chuku, right? Ugo was very, very egoistic, play on words, right? But actually was full of ego. And I remember a lot of people say, this new girl that they brought, how is she going to work with Ugo? And I already knew that, EQ, I speak EQ so fluently, right? So even when I have an idea and I know that Ugo will still claim it, I will say, Ugo, there's something you said that triggered one thought. Because I know that if I don't do it that way, he will not approve the idea, right? So I'll look for him to say something, fall into that my trap, and he gets it and I say, this thing you said about yellow, what if we do something with the word mellow, right? You see, is this yellow that you said that is inspiring me to yellow, mellow? What do you feel? And you say, hey, it's true, it's true, it's true. And I'll say, you know what, boss, let me flesh it out. And I'll go. Yes, a woman, no, it use sense. And I flesh it out. Then when we are presenting to our creative director, he has an ownership. So he will stay in that place. I'll say, so Ugo was saying something about yellow, and then that got me thinking. So he has his own time in the sun and he stays in that spot, right? But it's not going to come here to steal my spotlight as the ideator of the idea. Yes, he served as inspiration, and I keep him at that inspiration level. So we need to also know that if you put yourself in the shoes of these people, most times you have creative directors that are already in this place of, oh, this young mind, are they going to take my job? They are more brilliant than me, or maybe their creative spark is so they have different, especially those that don't have a good healthy esteem, right? So you need to also know how to manage them, right? So I'm sorry that that happened to you, but in case you encounter that kind of scenario, do not stop from putting your name to your work. It's your work, you need to peg it, but you also need to make sure that you give these guys ownership. So as they are sharing it, you need to also be able to say, okay, so yes, as boss said, this was the inspiration, but when I was scripting it, you need to put your eyes where you need to put your eyes, and your we's where we need to put your we's, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much. I have a question. I think two. So, but let me ask this. This is
Okay.
on behalf, I'm asking on behalf of designers that are here.
Okay.
Okay. Are there particular trends that you believe influences creatives? Right.
Okay.
Because I know people they love to flow with trends. Yeah. Let me just say in general, people love to flow with trends, but at the end of the day, they get lost. Yeah, and then it actually affect the whole thing that they do. Right. So
Mm.
are there particular trends that we can say, okay, this is like a constant one. You just you like you don't have to go beyond this limit. You have to stay here, right? Can you say something about it?
So I'm not a fan of trends in deciding what to do, right?
Okay.
I'm not a fan of you letting trends define your design, right?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of you looking at it, yes, I mean, to know what's prevalent, but do not color within the lines, right? I'm a fan of audaciousness, right? What trend are you going to start, for example?
Okay.
Do you get? Because by the time you follow trends to the level where you're now designing to trend, so the trend, yes, maybe you need to make sure that you
Lola,
stay
please
on.
mute your mic. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. The trends that you make sure that you align to are okay. Maybe there are some rules. Say you're designing for IG, you need to know, okay, how do people scroll, for example? What is their use pattern of the different the devices and different
Yeah.
platforms, right? We are designing for LinkedIn. You need to think of the platform, right? And know what the trends are as regards using those platforms, right? But you need to be a trend spotter and a trend breaker,
Okay.
right? Because in design, if you follow trends, then it will be I've seen it before design. It's not going to be fresh, it's not
Yeah.
going to be different,
Yeah.
it's not going to be. I don't know if a lot of you know this guy that he puts up his name is Mr. Simon, I guess. I don't know if that's his name, right? But he puts on, yeah, your design won't be timeless,
Yeah.
right? He puts up posts on advertising and just design and all that. And he has a style with which he does his reels, his post on IG and even his reels. It's very, very a block color, pop color, minimalist text, and he puts
Mm-hmm.
his logo at the bottom. That thing, he started that trend, and then a lot of people latched onto it. And then he now said, look, it got to a point where he's from said, please guys, now I thought I had a signature, but now it's looking like everybody is doing that. Remember that you need to be distinctive in your design. If there are any rules, it's probably rules as regards, or maybe template if you're building for a brand, or rules that as regards the platform, rules as regards the media use, right? But who says You cannot, for example, color outside the line and then start your own fad, right? Because trends come and go. You
Yeah.
just need to be inspired by it, but don't be defined,
Yeah.
right?
So you have to be authentic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes,
Ololade said your work must be timeless. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I guess she's a Davido fan. Oh, no problem. Okay, I have another question. I don't know if anyone has another question. If you have another question, please raise your hand. It's almost 7:30 and we are rounding up soon. So I have another question for you. Yeah.
Please shoot.
What inspired you to delve into the creative world?
Hmm. So this question, anytime I'm asked, I keep saying that I think that as I was born a creative, right? I was born into a home where my mom was a, I'll call like creative director because she
Okay.
had a fashion outfit, right? So she would always think of fashion pieces. She used to design outfits for my crees. You remember my crees of those days. So after school, I don't go home now. I just go to the shop,
Mm.
you know. She had like a duplex, the bottom. And then she had her fashion designers, and I'll see her sketching new designs, thinking of the body, thinking of the color, looking at the materials, looking at the buttons. So I was already an art director, a creative director by, design. I didn't have a choice. It was just the life that chose me. Right.
Okay.
And my dad was a marketing expert. So he used to do marketing for a brand that deals in foods, for feed, for a poultry brand. So in terms of the marketing dynamics, knowing the cost, the demand, knowing that okay, look, these are the target audience that those are the conversations we used to have. So my pastime, anytime he comes back home from work, is, oh, watch this advert. What do you think we can do? Do you like it? I'll say, no, it's not nice. As a little girl, say, oh yeah, tell me your own story. Tell me your own advert. And I'll be telling him the advert, even though it was very stupid story. But my dad would look. So it was the environment that I grew up in, actually. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. If you have questions for our speaker, raise your hand. She believe in okay. She should, yeah. Ask your question, please.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Question is now. My question is, can you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
clearly.
please.
My question is, does representing people's design does it boost your creativity or it reduces our level of creativity?
Replicating people's designs, does it boost
Like, why
creativity?
the process of in this process now, like, should I just keep like seeing designs online, try to do stuffs like that, or some of my own?
Hmm. Okay, so it's two. The way you see a design that really, you're like, damn, how did they do that? Right? And you just for your own self, just for your own skill acquisition, right? You want to play with the tools that they use. Okay, is it Illustrator this person used? Let me just see if I can really replicate it. But you're not replicating it to promote it
Yes.
as your own version. You're just replicating it to get better, to get
Yeah.
familiar with tools. Yes, why not? That's brilliant, right? Because you're upping your skills. I remember back when my mom too used to sew, she would take Italian suits, right? And then she would loosen it, you understand? To see the cords, to see the stuff. That's how she used to pattern her
Yeah.
suits then. And then she would now replicate it, right? To say, okay, look, she has gotten a style of how Italians sew. And that made her, it made her own her skill. So when she has to work on other designs, she already knows the best practices in terms of, the type of sewing patterns and all. So why not? I think that's brilliant. Then the other part as regards, looking at what someone has done and challenging yourself to give it your own twist. Why not? It's creativity is about playing. Why not? Can play, and then of course even let the person know that, inspired by your work, look at my variation. What do you think? And this person, maybe obviously maybe a designer that is more dexterous in that spin, can give you a pointers of few on how you can make it better. Why not?
Yeah, you're right. I know
Okay, thank
I
you,
know
ma.
fashion designers they do that a lot. You see some of their customers will come and say, I love this clothes, I love this style, Funke Akindele wear in this, yeah. I will love this style from Messi Aigbe and so on. Say we want that exact the exact style. You get, so it's not bad when you replicate. I mentioned it yesterday. Yeah, one of the things that helped me when I started out as a designer was that I'll place design, like people's design, side by side, replicate it first. I can like replicate everything, the color, and then later on I'll now start changing it. I can change the color, try to change the way they place the elements, maybe the way they arrange the picture. That helped me so much. Yeah, so you can try out something that also. That doesn't mean you want to copy everything the way you see it, but it's going to help your imagination. All right. Question. Do you still have questions? If you still have question, raise your hand, please. Before I release our speaker. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Okay, if there is no question, it's been an amazing night. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. And what would you what would you say to our speaker? What would you say?
Thank
You
you.
know, we started
Thank
something
you
last
so
night.
much.
We started something last night. We posted a thank you message on our story and then tagged Tola Labi after his session with us yesterday. So we are going to do something like that for our amazing speaker here also. All right. So if you are in this meeting and I can't see your story or I can't see your status, I'm calling DSS very soon. So we'll get you arrested. Okay. Thank you so much, Oyinda, for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
It's
you.
been amazing. Thank
Thank
you
you very much.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
enjoyed. I enjoyed.
If you have
Thank you.
if you
Have a
have anything to
lovely
say,
night.
drop your messages in the chat box. And don't leave yet.
They've been saying thank you.
I'm not seeing it though.
Emojis.
Only one person is saying thank you.
Ah,
Drop love emojis, please.
I love you too, Sammy. Olamide.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you, Oluwadamilola. Thank
All
you,
right. Thank you so much,
Shay.
Oyinda.
Thank you, Sam.
We appreciate you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. I value you. Thank you, Maven, for having me. Thank you so much. Take good care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Whew. That was amazing. I thought we were going to stay till like 9 p.m. again today, but she really killed. She killed everything, man. She killed everything. Thank you, amen. God bless me also. I, I think I'm going to get. I'm sure you guys jot some things down, right? I can get I can get a slide and share some of the things there with us, but I'm sure you jot something and you have something in your notes already. Yeah. So, do you have questions you want to He said I'm blushing. Do you have any question you want to ask me personally? You can ask me now. Right? Do you have any question you want to ask me? And then one secret is that she actually shared like a premium class with you guys for free. Yeah. This was some of the things that we enjoyed during my course at Orange Academy that I paid so much for. Yeah. She released herself, like she gave everything. And you guys can see some of the brands she worked with. Yeah. When I met with her, yeah, I think we've been together for maybe like 4 months or 6 months now. And then I've been privileged to work with Honeywell. I've been privileged to work with Golden Penny through her. Yeah, that's how relationship and collaboration works. Yeah, so don't I do cry on the group. You guys should talk. You guys should share what you have learned. Don't be quiet. Hey, you don't know who can help you. Okay, she's in the group. Oh, in case you guys don't know, she joined yesterday. Yeah, she joined yesterday, and there are many other groups like that also. Yeah, you guys don't keep quiet. Ask questions. If you are worried, if you have any issue, it doesn't have to be about design alone. Okay, ask questions. Don't be quiet. Be curious. She said it. Be curious. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining again tonight. I said I'm going to Okay, Kizito. Sorry, I'm going to add you. So in case you guys don't know, Kizito is a photographer, like a very good photographer. He shot some of my pictures too, and he's very good. Thanks for joining, Kizito. I'm going to add you personally to the group. I think there are some people who said they can't join the group also. I'm going to add you. So I mentioned yesterday that we'll be having boot camp after this course, after this conference rather. Yeah, so it's going to be graphic design and then brand design boot camp. Yeah. I think we should start with just with 2 months. Yeah, it is not free. Yeah, because you need to be committed. Right, I need you guys to be committed, and I've been mentioning it since Monday, so you can start saving. I'm not releasing it to the group now for anybody, but I'm just going to show you guys the details. Yeah. So let me share on my screen now so you can see. Excuse me. Okay, so this is it. Class is 20K, brand design class is 40K, and this rate is for people who registered, everybody that registered for Purposeful Designers Conference. Yeah, we get it at this rate. Yeah, if you can go anywhere, right? You can go anywhere and ask, right? I'm not being outrageous here. I know what you guys are going to learn. And then one of the things that every speaker I've been talking about, I also said it on Monday. Talalabi also said it yesterday, and she also made mention of it, that you need people who can tell you to go ahead, who will support you blindly, not just blindly, but there are a lot of things about you that you can't get. One of the things she mentioned, and I think that was our first point. She said you must know yourself first. There are a lot of us who do not know what we are capable of, right? There is dates there. We have dates on it now, Damilola. Yeah, I said December 11th of December. We're starting on the 11th of December. So it is not, we are not just learning the design, right? You have access to the Maven space. Yeah, that's an exclusive space. Okay. The discount, that's the discounted rate. That's the discounted rate. Okay. Right. That's the discounted rate. But I'm going to check it out again for you guys. Okay. If you know you are a beginner, start saving, right? You can enter my DM. Tell me, okay, boss, I can't afford everything. This is what I have for now. And if I see the commitment, if I see that you're learning, you really want to learn, you're welcome. Send people. You can be the first person to register. Maybe you can beat everyone to register first. Okay. I'm sure you don't want to sit back. Everyone wants to learn. Of course, why not? You can do both. Yeah, but if you are a beginner, I won't advise you to do both. If you are a beginner, you have to learn graphics first, and then you can move to brand design. Because if you are a beginner and then you are starting from brand design, you're going to give us headache. Okay, because there are some things that we are going to be taught and you may not get. Okay, Abdullah, you want to say something, or you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay, sir.
And yeah,
I can hear you. Abdullah. Okay, he left. I think he has a network problem. Okay, I think one of the things that's going to help us is that I just thought of it now. I think after this conference, if you agree with me, let me just see, just um, use a thumbs up emoji. Yeah, if you agree with me. So I think after this whole conference that we should have a portfolio day.
hey
Okay.
man, sorry, my network knocked me out.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello.
yeah, 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 yeah. I got that. Sorry, hold on, please.
Okay.
I was saying
All
something.
right. Okay.
I was saying something. So I think we should have a portfolio review day after this whole conference, so that we are going to see our works, right? I'm going to tell you so we can know the level that we are, right? Then I can advise if you are to join the brand design class, or maybe you should just start from graphic design. Okay. Sorry, a call came in. All right. Okay, I can see your thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to do that. Okay, Abdullah, you can ask your question now. Hello, Abdullah.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, I was talking. The network is a bit messy.
Okay.
So yeah, for this for this boot camp,
Okay.
although you said you want to still review the stuff for us,
Yeah.
um before the time, can one start paying by on installment, like before the due date? Maybe you must have paid
Yes.
some
Yes.
reasonable
Yes.
amount,
You
or
can. You can. You can. I'm going to get back to us tonight. Yeah, with more details about it. So if you have some money with you that you want to remit now, you can start paying instrumentally. Any other question? Do we have any other question, or are we good? Okay. In the absence of no question, I think we should call it a night. We actually finished early today. And thanks to Oyinda, please drop your reviews on the group. Yeah, it help us know that you're gaining something from the conference. Yeah, and whenever you learn something new, and then you are able to talk about it. It's like you are renewing your mind, like you are renewing your brain, you are refreshing. Yeah, so that information will stick. Everything we've been taught will stick to your head. If you can talk about what you've learned, don't keep it. If you keep it, you throw it away. You can get lost. Talk about it, right? And if you are not jotting down, make sure, Tola Labi session will be uploaded this night. Yeah, I had issue with NEPA. Yeah, I'm currently on generator now, so it will be uploaded this night, and then you can rewatch, go and see it again, jot things down. I have plenty books, like plenty, not reading. No, I'm not reading, like, it's not novel rather, but just notes that I used to jot things down. Like, there are so many. I have one for Bible study. I have one for anything that comes to my mind. I jot them down, and then you see that it reflects in the way you relate with people. It reflects in the way you talk. It reflects in everything that you do. People will know that you're gaining some good knowledge, right? So don't keep it. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. Don't let anybody bully you. You are right on your time. You are right in time. Okay, and then don't forget, one thing you should take home that Oyinda mentioned is that embrace your unique identity, right? Embrace your unique identity. Go online, follow Oyinda, and then I'm going to share the thank you flyer for her. Upload it on your story and make sure you tag her. All right. Thank you so much for joining Purposeful Designers Conference, the third day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do have a good night.
Thank you, Maven. Thank you very much for this session. Thank you for the inputs, the time. God bless you so much.